Hello, today I want to talk about some economic megatrends that have transformed our society in the past, that are transforming our society in the present, and I'm going to try to predict some megatrends that will change our society in the future. Okay, so let's start with the past. Okay, perhaps the major megatrend that changed civilization altogether was the beginning of the agricultural revolution. So at one time, as hunter-gatherers that we were spread all over the place, all over the savannah. We were hunting, gathering berries, killing buffaloes, whatever we used to be doing. But then when the Industrial Revolution got started, we started gathering in little communities because we had to plant our crops, we had to collect it, so we had to stay in one particular place instead of being nomads as we were chasing the new herd of animals. So then that, of course, that created a whole structure of civilization, and that's where the first cities were born. And of course that created governments and bureaucracy, this and that. Okay, so that was the beginning practically of civilization itself. Then after that we have the invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg, and that was in the 1400s, more or less 1440 I believe. And anyway, so what's that? What is the great impact of this invention of Johannes Gutenberg? The thing is that now we can spread ideas by the masses, because before that we had scripts that used to write things by hand, and of course the copies of one Bible and the other one and the other one, they all have different small differences, because of course we are not perfect, we are not machines, and we just change depending on our mood or whatever. So anyways, a message couldn't be relayed exactly as it was communicated, or it couldn't spread wide. But when Johannes Gutenberg created the printing press, now he will print a pamphlet, and that pamphlet could be spread all over Europe, and therefore mass communication was invented, and that's practically the beginning of everything related to communication. Then after that we have the Industrial Revolution. That was mostly in England, the birthplace of this, and we have great inventions as the steam engines and whatever, the railroads, and now we can transport goods and services from one end of the country to the other. We can move heavy machinery. So and then we have, of course, that's the beginning of the first working hours. People before that used to, be the shoemaker and the maid. Everyone had different professions, but as soon as we had the Industrial Revolution, then the whole structure of employment changed, and now we have people in factories, no 9 to 5, even worse, from sunrise to sunset. So yeah, Industrial Revolution was a great change of how we work. And then after that we have the invention of electricity. Now we can have all kind of gadgets running on electricity, and now we can work at night, and we can just do so many things. The economics changed, because before that we were able to exist at night just with candles, but now with electricity we have light all over the night, and we create little engines that can move things. So it was a big change in society. And then the big change that most of you are familiarized with is the invention of the internet. That was 20th century. And at the beginning, many companies tried to jump into this new invention, and there were .com everything, okay? But many of these companies fell, but there were a few companies that survived. Not only survived, that they thrive. So companies such as Amazon, Apple, Google, so on and so forth. It became a winner-take-all competition. And of course, we still see how Google have become the winner of search technology, and we can see how Apple have become the winner in smartphones and all these other great things. And Microsoft dominated the internet for many, and still does. Microsoft is one of the big winners of the internet. Okay, so now those are the trends from the past that I can recall. Now, what are the major trends in the present that are changing society? Well, the big trend that is changing everything is artificial intelligence. This is changing how people are working. Now a lot of people are losing their jobs because artificial intelligence can do their jobs much better. So if you are a low-end employee who do repetitive knowledge tasks, artificial intelligence can easily replace you. Right? I use artificial intelligence every day. I use it as an assistant where we chat GPT, and I have long conversations exchanging ideas that I use to write my blog posts, to do research, so on and so forth. So artificial intelligence is changing everything. But another mega trend that is also changing everything is this: the pharmaceutical drugs have invented weight loss drugs such as Wegovy and Ozempic. And this, of course, one of the major problems of modern society is that people are getting obese because they can just buy junk food at any given time. And we as human beings, we have a tendency to want to consume all this sugar and salt and fat, which the food company have made available to us 24 hours a day. So what happens? We tend to grow fat, and our willpower and our desire to do exercise is obviously not enough because a great chunk of the populations are overweight. And then comes this drug, Wegovy and Ozempic, that seems to be the solution for our obesity. So what's happening? Now less people are having health issues that are in a way related to weight. So for example, if you suffer from the heart, if you lose weight, now your heart problems will be diminished. If you suffer from diabetes, also losing weight can be extremely helpful. And another industry that is suffering a lot from these weight loss drugs is the junk food industry. So if PepsiCo, all these companies that produce Doritos and chips and sugar drinks, all of these companies, they are probably going to go down with the expansion of these weight loss drugs. So those are changes that I'm seeing in the present. Now, what do I see in the future? Well, people who predict the future, they like to come up with novel ideas that will say, wow, that's interesting. But, I see maybe a continuation of the same. So I have been looking at ETFs, the major ETFs that are going up faster than the rest of the economy. And some of those ETFs are, one of them is the technology sector. The ticker for this one is XLK. And this one I see more of the same. Our technology is improving by the day, and there are some companies that have monopolistic power, and I see them continue the leadership in these fields unless the government breaks them up. So some of these companies are companies such as Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. All of them are under investigation by antitrust hawks. People who are saying, oh, these companies, they have too much power right now, and we better look for ways to break them up because we don't want companies to be more powerful than even whole government. So that's it. The technology sector, I think, is going to continue outpacing the rest of the economy. And also the other sector that I see outpacing everybody else is the communication service sector. And in this I see companies such as, once again, Google, but now also Facebook or Meta. So companies that I see, the Elon Musk SpaceX or Starlink companies, this company is already facilitating internet connection all over the world. So this is amazing. So I see this as part of the future. One more thing that I could see as part of the future is a way to store energy, because now we want to reduce the consumption of fossil oil. So then we have to produce energy through the fall with the sun and with the wind. Okay, but we need a way to store that energy, and I see the battery production or the creation of batteries to store this energy so that we can consume it later on when the sun is not shining or when the wind is not blowing. So all these are trends that I'm seeing. I don't know if any one of them will pan out, but for the moment, at least for next year, I see a continuation of the same, and I'm putting my money in there. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until soon. Peace.